Experiment with Truth. A practical guide to discovering the truth within yourself. Experiment with Truth is a course which does not concern itself with one particular philosophy or religion, but which embraces all religions and philosophies.
Whatever you are doing at this time, sit down and relax. Give yourself time for your experiment with truth.
Experiment with Truth, a course in 10 parts, inspired by the techniques of Her Holiness Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi. I bow to all the seekers of truth. Do you believe, like most people in the Western world, that the highest point of attainment is the complete accumulation of mental knowledge? Do you belong to that group of people who believe that man can understand himself through the brain and the book? We read books and try to follow instructions from people who have had some sort of experience which they want to share. But can this really take the place of one's own personal experience?
Rohit Mehta, founder of the Socialist Party of India and secretary of the International Theosophical Society, writes in his book, The Science of Meditation, "We have seen that the brain is working at present at a low potential of 10 to 12%. It must be supplied with a great amount of fresh energy. It is with this energy that new centers of learning can be brought into existence in unusual areas of the brain. Without establishing such new reverberating centers in a revitalized brain, man cannot survive biologically or psychologically in this new phase of evolutionary growth."
So what is the problem? The question could be, as Erich Fromm, the Swiss psychologist, put it, to have or to be. The old brain is used to thinking in a linear, material way. Our social values are dominated by money. Today's thinking is, one can buy human beings, feelings, love, almost everything with money. But is this really so? The huge number of stressed, sick, and unsatisfied people all over the world does not prove that this thinking is the truth. This money-orientated thinking has created egotists who seek to control everything through their value system and without regard to the forces of nature and the real well-being of mankind.
Can we really use money to buy love and peace and respect for every race, regardless of religious belief?
Through Experiment with Truth, find the roots to your own nature, your own strength, and your own wisdom.
It is said by all the great spiritual masters of the world that the causes of pressure and stress on the body and psyche of man can only be found within his attitudes and ways of behaving with others, and not to blame exterior factors.
The reasons for fear, worry, and stress could be failure to recognize one's inner worth and purpose, egotism, and the inability to love, material desires, imbalanced behavior which results in time and performance pressures, dissatisfaction and joylessness, or lethargy and boredom.
When our inner world is in balance, no pressure from the outside world can disturb it. The ancient teacher and sage Lao Tse said, "If powerful men and women could remain centered in the Tao, all things would be in harmony. The world would become a paradise. All people would be at peace, and the law would be written in their hearts."
If we talk about a new, reverberated brain, we mean the ability of this brain to be in a state of unconditioned loving and understanding for all people of all ages and races. This new series, Experiment with Truth, gives you the possibility, using the medium of pictures from nature and music, to experience your own capacity to be. The prerequisite for the success of this experiment with truth is for you to be aware that the true being is absolute and complete, and for you to desire to experience the truth. Spiritual masters from various cultures will help to bring about an awareness of yourself, which will help you in turn when conducting the experiment. Experiment with Truth is an experience, with the help of which you will start to grasp and understand the world around you, and enjoy that world from the depths of your real senses. Do your own experiment with truth, and discover a tremendous world within yourself. Try to do your own experiment.
Now, how can you experiment with truth? Truth is what it is. It cannot be changed and it cannot be conceptualized. But truth can be felt.
Your own body is the instrument of truth. In every human being, energy centers are to be found on the autonomic nervous system. These centers are connected to every cell in the body through the nerves and are called chakras. The centers are a direct instrument of the truth. They reflect the destructive as well as the constructive behavior of man towards his environment and towards himself. Fear, worry, stress, anger, greed, egotism, and so forth irate the nerves in the body and overload the energy centers of your autonomic nervous system. With the help of the nervous system, one can discover the reasons for a positive or negative attitude to life, and the reasons why sicknesses occur. How does that work?
In the sacrum bone, just below the base of the spine, resides a power. This power is known as a female or motherly primordial power, and since ancient times it is known as Kundalini. The limbic area on top of the head integrates all the systems in the body and is therefore the principal control center for the body. Your experiment with truth starts when your Kundalini rises up through the spinal column to enlighten this limbic area. When this happens, a new dimension of perception is achieved through which you learn to understand the energy flow from your body to your hands. All the nerve centers, and consequently all the organs, reflect their condition in the hands and on each fingertip. Through this subtle system of perception, that is the system which registers the truth about everything, you are able to discern your own mastership and what should be your right conduct towards God, mankind, and nature.
Whatever you will now feel is information about the true conditions of your energy centers, and that is your experiment with truth. You can feel it in your hands, above your head, in your body, and in your heart.
Within you, there is a power which will help you overcome your thoughts, anger, guilt, greed, worries, and fears. Only in this liberated condition are you able to feel a greater personality within yourself and enjoy a purity of love. Truth is pure love. Let's remind ourselves one more time what Rohit Mehta at the beginning of the program said. The old brain can ill serve the needs of the present age. There must be an emergence of a revitalized brain if man is to survive in this new phase of evolutionary growth. He continues to say, faced with this situation, awakening of Kundalini seems to be the only answer.
The main purpose of this series is to awaken this power called Kundalini within you. Experiment with truth. Make some time for you to experiment at home, because what you can find is something which can give your life a new dimension, a new meaning.
इच्छा हुई पाले तुझको, इच्छा हुई पाले तुझको, हासिल हो तुम जागो कुंडलिनी माँ, जागो कुंडलिनी माँ, करो सब पे कृपा, जागो कुंडलिनी माँ.
Lao Tse. When there is no desire, all things are at peace. The wise one lives silently in the world. His heart is an open door. The people look to him and hear him, and he sees his children in all.
Through the working of Kundalini, there manifests a feeling of harmony, peace, love and joy, a clear understanding of your inner freedom and independence which gives security to your inner being. Sickness, stress and dissatisfaction disappear from your physical and psychological body, and a new strength in your immune system gives you the power to easily overcome the trials and challenges that life brings.
Kundalini is the power which enlightens mankind, and through this a new step in evolution is achieved. This is because in this state of enlightenment, a direct communication is manifested with the all-pervading creative power of the universe. The wonderful sounds of nature and these pictures will help you to feel and enjoy yourself in this experiment with truth. You will be guided by the wisdom from different cultures, by spiritual masters from the East and from the West, and by music from all over the world.
With your own body as the instrument, discover the truth about yourself, about your own roots. As Socrates, the wise teacher from ancient Greece, said, "Know yourself." With this experiment, discover how these universal laws communicate themselves to you. With your own body as the instrument, discover the truth about the 10 ancient masters: Abraham, Moses, Zarathustra, Socrates, Muhammad, Janaka, Guru Nanak, Sai Nath of Shirdi, Lao Tse, and Confucius. With this experiment, discover self-mastery. You will experience a new dimension of awareness on your autonomic nervous system. The aim of this program will be to guide you through this experiment.
Prosperity. Is that one's only aim in life? Chief Red Cloud of the Sioux, talking about the aims of his tribe in the late 19th century. I am poor and naked, but I am the chief of the nation. We do not want riches, but we do want to train our children correctly. Riches would do us no good. We could not take them with us to the other world. We do not want riches. We want peace and love.
On the 5th of May, 1970, Her Holiness Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi opened the topmost energy center, the Sahasrara chakra, on a collective level. She has developed a gentle method by which Kundalini could be awakened through her love. Through Kundalini awakening, it has become possible for all those seeking the truth to experience this all-pervading power of the universe, and to communicate and share this joy with others.
Sri Mataji's desire is to give whosoever wishes it their enlightenment through this motherly primordial power.
In some excerpts from international conferences, Sri Mataji explains why it is so important to know the truth about ourselves.
The light of the spirit enlightens your brain. What we know through human awareness is very little. But when the brain is enlightened, you start discovering new things. All the problems of the world mostly come from human beings. And surprisingly, all the human problems come from the centers that they have within themselves. All your physical, mental, emotional problems come from the subtle centers of energies within you. If these centers are somehow or other understood on your central nervous system, you can correct them. So you have to have the self-knowledge.
Einstein. This modern age has excelled itself in achieving tremendous steps in the area of scientific understanding and technical performance. Who would not be happy about that situation? However, we should not forget that knowledge alone cannot help man towards living a worthwhile and happy life. Mankind has every reason, therefore, as the discoverer of objective truth, to expect higher moral norms. What people like Buddha, Moses and Jesus have given us is, for me, much more than all inquiring and constructive spirit has given. The gifts of these highly blessed people we have to protect, and we have to try to keep them alive with all our forces if mankind shall not lose its dignity, its security and the joy of existence.